Hey guys, it's Sam. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I have recently been back in my nonsense with planner chaos crap. And I feel like this has been the worst year for it. Um, I posted on Instagram just yesterday that I was somewhere between using this planner, ordering a Hobonichi cousin, or throwing all of my planners out the window. Like, I've been going through it, and I've had this conversation so much. I feel like historically I've talked about this every year, but this year I've just really struggled with the planner discontentment. So I've decided for right now, if I went over my pros cons list and talked to you about all the reasons why I should use rings or should use a bound book, or what's wrong with the Hobonichi weeks, or what's frustrating to me about rings, or why I mean, if you had just been in my little world, I can't make any sense out of this whole video, I don't think. So sorry ahead of time. I have gone to work each day with 3 to 5 planners. I have spent time that I had down looking at planners. I've been on the fence about ordering disc bound planners, trying coil bound planners again. I bought a planner at Target, which I have since given to my daughter, that I was like, well, this is just simple, and it has a month and it has the week, and then there's to-dos on the sides, and maybe that's what I need. And back and forth, trying to make Astrology work, trying to, why did I sell my Passport TN stuff? Why can't I choose between A6 personal or Pocket Plus in a rings planner? Like, here's the Commit 30, maybe I should use this, maybe. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to stop. Like, first of all, I'm not making any progress anywhere. I'm losing information, or information is in one planner and I've not taken that planner to work. And it's just like, why do I need a planner? Why do I need a planner? I like to write things down. I like to schedule things. I guess I'm kind of type A in my personality, and I kind of guess it's, and I guess it's also like it's an anxiety soother, you know? And I go through these periods pretty frequently where I feel like, well, this isn't working, or this isn't making me happy, or I'm tired of using the same pen and all of that. And then I feel the urge to do something different. And then it's, you know, the search for the perfect this or the perfect that, or see, it's like easily so triggered by even seeing somebody on social media that has this worn in cover that they've used for the last 3 years. And I'm like, how can you use the same cover for 3 years? I can't figure out what planner I'm using from day to day, sometimes hour to hour. And it's just, something has to give. So I, again, yesterday, like, was going through the whole thing on the ready to hit pay for a Hobonichi cousin, a Pocket TN, like all of these things. And I was just like, all right, you're going to have to get your crap together, because this is never going to work the way you want it to work. So what I decided to do was get out my Hobonichi weeks, which I've kept up with through the year. It's been touch and go, but it's not like it's empty. It's not like it's full, but I can't say that of any of my planners, because I've not been in any planner long enough to do so. But I went into my Hobonichi weeks because what I had decided for now, for this very moment, is that it's worked for so many years enough that I need to just give it a chance. So, I have some like sensitive information here from a ring planner that I need to move over to the Hobonichi if I'm going to be using it. The reason why I decided temporarily to go back to the Hobonichi weeks, and I might change my mind tomorrow, so don't expect the next video to be about this planner, is that it really does have almost everything that I need. It has the monthly area, which I'm not going to show right now. I mean the yearly overview on the 2 pages, which I'm not going to show right now, where I use that particular section to track my cycle and intimacy, and some very low key like symptoms and things. And even though I can print off a printable that looks similar to that and, you know, use it in rings or paste it into another planner, I just really like the way this one is in this particular planner. And it's like, such a tiny little detail, but I like measure every other planner with, does it have that? Does it not have that? And if it doesn't have that, then it's already like down a step in my thinking of it. Like, you're already not worthy of my time. And then of course it has the monthly overview, which I don't use as much as I use my weekly, but it's still necessary for me to have this available to me. And then of course it has the weekly, and I've talked many, many times about how this particular weekly format really works for me. It's easily changeable. You can customize it to be whatever you want it to be. And I definitely need the weekly overview in my planner. And then even though I'm not using the Mega this year, you know, you still have a good bit of pages in the back. And again, I go very much back and forth between that, because I feel like when I want to write in cursive in the back here, fountain pen makes the most sense, but I don't like carrying a fountain pen around. And, you know, I've always struggled with the pen issue, and I've decided at the moment that I'm just going to stick with this felt tip pen, even though I get really bored with using it. But if I'm honest with myself, I fall into like my standard go-to pen in all situations. For years and years and years and years, I used the friction pen almost exclusively. At work, every single day, I'm using a Uni Jetstream in 1.0 to use all day, every day at work. And I have other pens in my little box at work that I could take out and use, but that's the one that I enjoy using the most. And so I just need to, okay, well, this is the pen I'm using in this planner, and just get over it. The downside is that this pen nib wears down more easily because it is a felt tip. But I can have all of these sections that I need. The only thing I feel like I am, and it has a couple of extra things in the back or whatever, I really do like the My 100 section and all of that. So it's good. If you have a Mega, most people can get away with journaling. As on and off journaling as I am and always have been, if I had the Mega, I probably still wouldn't fill it up if I was consistent with the planner the whole year, just because I'm not consistent with journaling. And definitely now that I've used this not that regularly, if I wanted to journal every day in this, I could probably make do with just the regular weeks on its own. But because of the size and the features that it has and the things that I can add to it, I was just like, go with the Hobonichi weeks and just make yourself use it for August. And I've challenged myself with that, with a few things that I wasn't unsure of. Making myself use Pocket Plus planner, a Pocket Plus rings last year for 1 month turned into 4 or 5 months of using that size. And I tried to move back into it and force myself to do that again this year, and it just wasn't happening. I made myself use the Commit 30 for a 30-day period, and I did enjoy using it. And I'm like, just use this for August and you'll just get over yourself. So I also have the bonus of absolutely adoring this cover, and I love the Gillio Muppet line. I sold a Rolf that I absolutely adored when I left Hobonichi, and I've had another one since then that I didn't love as much, but this Fozzie was sold to me a few months back and I adore it. And so bonus, using a cover that I love that has a lot of function in it as well. And the other bonus is that everything that I have to have in a planner is in this book, despite the issues that I have with it, with the pens and the grid size and what have you. And knowing that there are so many alternatives now out there for this particular size, knowing that I can still get by with this relatively smaller form factor planner, even if I ended up in another brand, still being able to use this particular cover makes me pretty happy. I love that this one has the back pocket in it, even if I don't use it all that regularly. And because this one is not so chunky and isn't a Mega, you could probably still get away with it either way. But I've since moved my stickers, or not all of my stickers, just some of my most used, more regularly reached for stickers, into this little bound book from Catspresso Co. because it's nice and thin, and I wasn't carrying my spiral one around, and so I never had a sticker at hand. So this will be nice for like little on-the-go decorating, because you never know when you're going to be sitting around doing nothing and you're like, oh, let me fill a little bit out in my planner. So the only thing that was really missing for the Hobonichi weeks for me was the point that I have made for a while now, that the bound books freak me out because everything seems so permanent, because you just can't toss a page. Or if you do toss a page, it's not that simple. And in comes this little Pen+gear notebook. And I've been using this one for a couple weeks now. I do have some space at the front here to put some pocket monthlies if I choose. But yeah, see, I don't know what I got. I think it was salad dressing on there, and that would have made me like super cry if this was, you know, my permanent planner or whatever. So I don't use it every day. I don't have to use it every day, but this planner was like $1 or $2, and this is where I'm just hashing out my little to-do lists, and can just scratch things down, and then my plans are in here. So if it's something that I'm unsure about, and I haven't done any note taking in it yet, but I know that I'll feel free to do so. If I'm unsure of anything and I don't want to put it on my planner, or it's a to-do list or a shopping list that doesn't really need to be in my planner, I can easily just take this with me and know that it's there and be able to scratch that down and not worry about it. And it all fits really well together in this cover. And of course, like I said, if yours was extra fluffy, maybe you would have more of a struggle with it, but my planners generally stay a little bit thinner than most people, so I don't have any issues with that. So I feel like I can keep trucking with this. Does that make everything about this planner perfect to me? No, but can I live with it? I think so. And it does have the satisfaction of, I was just asked, I think, today on Instagram, if I go back through my planners and look through them. And I don't generally, except for the Hobonichi planners. And I just feel like I don't want to lose that. And it may be dumb because it's just a planner, but I have discovered in all of this pain and search and frustration that it's not just a planner to me, at least when it comes to a bound book. And I'm somewhere between writing things down so I don't forget them and keeping memories. And this planner just works really well for me for doing both. And it's not too big and it's not too small. And for the most part, it will work just right. It does cause me to slow down, work within the lines and grids more than I would like, but it's overall a really good planner. And ugly weeks that I mess things up, make me stressed. But yeah, see, I still sometimes cut pages out here so that I can redo things. But this is just so nice to look through, and I like that I can carry it with me pretty much everywhere. It doesn't weigh things down. By the time I get everything into a personal rings planner, it makes my purse really heavy. So for now, for today, I am going to tell myself that August is back to the Hobonichi weeks, and we'll see how far this takes me. I have to remember that I'm easily distracted by shiny things, and just because somebody else has been using a system for the last 3 years and I've bounced around for the last 3 years doesn't mean that that's the place that I need to land, and I can't get distracted. I just got to dig in and use what I'm using. And I would really like to say that I'm going to use this the rest of the year and just make my decision about what I'm moving into. But there's so much out there and so much to offer. I don't know if I can hold on that long. But for August, I'm sticking with this book. And we'll see if I fall in love with it again. I mean, I don't hate it. Sometimes I want to throw it through the window. But I don't hate it. I get annoyed with it, but it's not the worst planner I've used. And I mean, I've got like, I don't know how long now, 7, 8 years of these things now. So something about it is working, and I just need to remember that. I have had so many messages from so many people. I feel like This is definitely not an isolated incident. There are so many people who are struggling just as much as I am. And if you are blissfully in your system with no issues, I'm so, so happy for you. And I would love to hear from you. But if you are not in that place, like, don't beat yourself up over it, because I have been beating myself up over it and it doesn't make it better. Spoiler alert. Anyway, so that is what I wanted to come in and chat with you guys about today. I hope that you are doing well. I can't wait to hear from you in the comments below. What planner are you using for August? I don't know. Should I ask you that? Should you tell me? I don't need to get distracted, but I still want to hear about your planner. Thanks so much as always for being here. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here and don't want to miss out on future videos, don't forget to subscribe. See you again soon. Bye guys.